Welcome, Anushree.
Thank you, sir.
So, to start, tell me something about yourself.
Sir, as
Please speak a bit louder.
okay, sir. Sir, as you already mentioned, my name is Anushree, and I am from Madhubani district of Bihar. I completed my schooling from Bihar itself. Thereafter, I did my Bachelor of Science in Agriculture from Hyderabad. I've also done my postgraduate diploma management in agriculture from Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Academy of Agriculture Research and Management. It is also situated at Hyderabad. And I did my Bachelor of Science in Agriculture from Professor Jaishankar, Telangana State Agriculture University. It was formerly Acharya N.G. Ganga University. For last 3 years, I have been residing at Mumbai, where I work with Rallis India Limited. It is a Tata enterprise and it's an agrochemical company. My hobby includes agri-tourism and public speaking, sir.
So, your job is not mentioned in this PF.
Yes, sir, it is not mentioned.
Why?
So because there was some problem in getting experience certificate because my reporting manager was on almost 1 month leave, sir, sick leave. So I couldn't get on time the certificate, so I couldn't highlight it in that.
Hello, good morning, Anushree.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Anushree, you belong to Munger. Okay.
Yes, my birthplace is
Hello.
Munger, sir. I was born at Munger.
Okay. Tell me, why is Munger, for which Munger is famous for? Hello.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, Munger has a few social as well as demographic features which makes it unique among districts of Bihar. Sir, first thing is Munger is historically also famous for being the center of Indian independence, and it is famous for Mir Qasim and Munger Killa, which was also there was contribution of Mir Qasim in that, and that is famous. Apart from that, sir, in Munger, the factory of arms and ammunition, which was historically developed by Mir Qasim also, and which is still it is functional in some of the areas. Sir, apart from that, demography of Munger is peculiar because it is one of the very few districts where population is almost 50-50 for Hindu as well as Muslim. So that is also one of the peculiarity of Munger, sir.
Do you know about Sita Man Patthar? Sita Man Patthar.
Yes, sir, that is one of the tourist places of Munger, sir.
And what about Chhath festival?
Yes, sir. Sir, Chhath is one of the most famous festival of Bihar, and it is celebrated normally during the onset of winter, sir. And in Chhath festival, the devotees they worship to Lord God Sun, and there is a 3 days fasting, so it is considered one of the toughest fasting of any of the festivals in Hindu religion, sir.
Anushree, you mentioned in your hobbies about farm tourism.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, can you explain what is farm tourism?
Yes, sir. Sir, farm tourism is also known as agri-tourism, sir, and it is one of the forms of tourism in which the tourists they get to experience the real-time farm scenario. For example, how the harvesting is done, how transplanting is done, or how wine is made in a winery. So, farm tourism is a real-time experience of what is a day like in a farmer's life, and they get to experience apart from that the local cuisine, the language, the rural language, and the environmental, other social cultural aspect of the particular place, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Madam, can you tell me which is the first Indian state to pass agri-tourism policy?
Sir, it is Maharashtra, sir.
Good. In
sir, as far as I remember, in agri-tourism was started in Maharashtra in 2005, sir, through AIT, through all Pandurang Tawade, sir. So it is 2005, sir, as far as I remember.
Just a minute. Meanwhile, ma'am, please continue.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So as you have mentioned that you have done your bachelor's and post-graduation in agriculture. So what got you in agriculture as a career?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, to be very honest, uh, agriculture as an career option, I chose. There was major two to three reasons for that, ma'am. First, ma'am, I was a student of science in my plus one and plus two, and I took biology, and at that point of time, agriculture was a good alternative option. So I gave the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. My father was also in the same field. So I always knew about ICR that it is a esteemed institution. So I gave the exam and I was able to clear it and I got a good college. So I took admission and this was for BSc. As far as postgraduate diploma management in agriculture is considered, so I thought it is a better option because rather than going for MSc agriculture, because at that point of time in my life there was a very unfortunate incident and getting a job was very important for me, ma'am. So I did PGDMA to get a job in agriculture.
So do you think by choosing this option you can help farmers in and
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in BSc Agriculture, in especially during the fourth year, it is a 4 years degree. Every year we have some other project where we can directly help farmers. But in fourth year, ma'am, we have RAVID, that is Rural Agricultural Work Experience Program. And 6 months, all agricultural students are supposed to be in a village. And we get our own farmer and we help them to plan their farm activities throughout. So this was a very satisfying experience for me. Coming to PGDM, I did two internships and it was very closely related to not only farmers but dealers of agri input. So both the experiences were very enriching and I worked with, I would say, unorganized sector very closely, ma'am.
so can you can you help farmers how we can means, improve their income salary in this way?
Ma'am, through being an agriculture graduate or
Means as you have already worked with farmers on ground level, so you know what are all the problems that they are dealing with in their day-to-day life. So how can we means encourage farmers to get to know about new schemes? Means most of them were not really aware of these schemes that
yes, true.
है ना? So how we can help them in increasing their salary as well as how we can motivate them um, how we can encourage them and let them know regarding the new scheme. So what is your view on this?
So, ma'am, you said it very correctly that despite having so many schemes for the upliftment of farmers, but the main problem lies that they are unaware about the schemes. So, ma'am, in this regard, as when we were agriculture student, we had a subject called extension. The very purpose of the subject is to impart knowledge to the farmers. So there we used to have meetings with farmer and inform them about various schemes like Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchay Yojana or Fasal Bima Yojana, PM Kisan. And currently, ma'am, I would say that our government has taken a very good step with form e-Shram portal. On that, the registration of unorganized sector and farmers. There are almost more than 43% registration on that of farmers. So once they are registered, they'll get to know about the other better schemes. Also, they are connected to National Skill Service portal, so they can modify. They can actually diverse their skill also, ma'am. And apart from that, ma'am, I feel that there should be proper meetings from the agriculture department, Krishi Vigyan Kendra, like quarterly meeting, like quarterly in the sense once in a 15 days at least, to just inform them and to just inform them about the scheme and to monitor whether they are able to follow or not.
But we can verbally communicate this thing, na? But how means on ground level, how we can means make it more practical and more effective? What are your thoughts on making it on ground level? How we can make it more effective? Suppose I have a group of farmers. As you are saying that we can have a meeting on regular 15 days. So, how will means it is not we cannot means suppose we have various schemes, we have portals also, okay. But how we'll encourage them like or ground level पे how we can motivate them and how we can perform this particular task on ground level. Okay. They should join the meeting, they should attend the meeting, and
Okay,
this
ma'am.
is beneficial for them only in this way.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are very correct. Information, just factual information is not enough. They should actually know what is the benefits they'll derive from these schemes, ma'am. For that, ma'am, we need to tell them about the details of the scheme, and we also need to tell them about the exact calculation that what monetary benefit they may derive out of that scheme. Because it is a fact that, ma'am, unless and until they will seek some monetary benefit or the increment in their income, they will not be taking this they will not take this effort of going and registering on portal or another paperwork. So for example, in this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, if we explain them that what they can actually save by enrolling into this, and what will be the increased income at the end of the harvesting and all, so if we are able to explain the very fact, then I think they'll be interested in this.
I think as you might have known regarding this recent issue that farmers law.
Yes, ma'am. Three farm bills.
Three farm bills. So what are your views on that particular point?
Yes, ma'am.
That was also for farmers only.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if I talk about my personal opinion on the three farm law which stands repealed today, ma'am, I feel that they were beneficial to some extent, considering the farmers of our country, and but the very fact that the farmers themselves were not happy with the scheme, and the scheme was made for the farmers. So we live in a democracy, and until and unless the beneficiary is happy, we cannot enforce anything on them. So I am in favor of government that they took the right stand in repealing that.
No, no. We want your opinion. What is your opinion about that?
Sir, my
Were they
opinion
good or not?
about the farm law. Sir, all the three farm laws were good in certain extent, but
Can you explain?
yes, sir. The first farm laws were about selling the produce, about being able to sell the produce even outside the APMC, sir. So, sir, it is true that there are loopholes in APMC, the structure of APMC, despite the efforts of government and many state government to rectify it, still there are loopholes. So, farmer would have been benefited if they were able to sell their produce outside APMC also to another states. But and about the second law, sir, it was about contract farming. So about contract farming, sir, there was this skepticism that farmers is on the weaker side of the negotiation, but there were many safeguards in the bill itself which would have protected farmers. And the third one is just amendment of Essential Commodity Act, sir. So my personal views are that still there is some scope that with betterment and amendment in this scheme, if government is able to bring them in the future in some other form, it will be beneficial to our farmers, sir.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Hello.
Yes,
All
sir.
ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anushree, do you aware of Sri Lanka crisis?
Yes, sir, I'm aware.
Okay. Why Sri Lanka got bankrupt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are various reasons for the current situation, for the current economic situation of Sri Lanka, sir. Sir, starting from first reason what I can think of is various populist scheme, and the scheme being based on the external debt. So the first during 2019 general elections, the present government of the day in Sri Lanka, they announced many populist schemes. For example, decreasing the tax base, and it caused various trouble. Second thing is, sir, as I mentioned in the first point, the external loan. They took heavy loan from many countries, and because of that, they are in a debt trap crisis right now, sir. And third thing is, sir, about agriculture. The overnight ban of fertilizers and chemical pesticide was a uncalculated step, I would say, and it caused the yield to drop drastically. And as Sri Lanka is majorly dependent on tea and rubber export, so the yield dropped drastically, even paddy yield dropped drastically, and there was food insecurity, sir. Sir, fourth reason is the immediate one, the COVID situation, sir. Sri Lanka's economy majorly depend on tourism, and that was severely affected by COVID. And if we go little back due to the Easter bomb blast in Colombo, so these two reasons are related to tourism, sir.
Madam, in which state of India first grand ATM has been placed?
First,
Granite.
which
Hello,
is, sir?
Anushree.
In which state first gram ATM has been placed?
Gram ATM.
Am I right, sir?
Yes, grand ATM. Yoga.
Which ATM?
Grand ATM.
Grain ATM.
Grain ATM. Sorry, sir, I'm not aware currently, sir. I have to get myself updated on this.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is your job profile?
Yes, sir. Sir, currently I am working with Rallis India Limited. It is a Tata enterprise, and currently I am working as a senior product executive, sir. So this is my post right now.
Can you elaborate your work there?
Okay, sir. Sir, it is a marketing position, sir. I'm in marketing division of my company and product management to be specific. So my role is to develop a product, and our product are agrochemical. For example, if there is a herbicide, so starting from the research that which herbicide is needed, along with R&D. So we develop the product in the sense. The major thing is about the packaging of the product, which packaging material is needed, and what are the sizes of the product. Then also, this is just the desk job part, sir, which we do in the marketing. The major part comes is the field job, sir. Sir, like almost 15 days in a month, we have to be in the field, like in various parts of India, and we have to interact with the dealers, retailers, and farmers to know their pain points, sir, so that we can implement it in our product development.
It also exists in your job profile.
Yes, sir. It is almost 60-40 ratio, 40% desk job and 60 field job.
You have 3 years of experience.
Yes,
You have a master degree, but you have not mentioned it in DF.
sir, about experience.
No, about master degree.
So that I've mentioned in desired qualifications.
Okay, postgraduate diploma in management. Okay. So how will you implement your 3 years work experience in this job, EPFO, enforcement officer? First, what do you think is the job profile of an enforcement officer or accounts officer?
Sir, coming to the question, job profile of enforcement officer and account officer. Sir, enforcement officer and account officer is the same person, and it is just two things. So when they are working on field, it is enforcement officer, and when they are working in the office, it is accounts officer, sir. So coming to the duties of enforcement officer, sir, it is the major. It is having the role of compliance, sir, and also enrollment. So, an enforcement officer has the responsibility of implementing EPF and MP Act, and also he has to monitor the compliance of the employer. Apart from that, he also works as a public relation officer for grievance redressal. Then, as assistant prosecutor, also he works as assistant prosecutor. Also, sir, enforcement officer can also coming to sir accounts officer. His major role is the claim settlement, sir. Apart from claim settlement, there is also advanced disbursal. He also works as a CPIO, sir, when coming to RTI request. And also nowadays, sir, when EPFO is turning towards EPFO social media, So they also handle the social media handles of EPFO.
What is the major work as an particularly enforcement officer?
So enforcement officer, as the name suggests, the major thing is enforcing Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act, sir. And with enforcing, it means to see the coverage and compliance, sir. Whether more and more people are.
Can he punish? Can he or she punish anybody?
Sir, coming to directly punishing, sir, directly punishment is, I don't think is in his hands, sir. He works as an inspector cum facilitator, sir, here.
Okay. So any penalty?
The imposing penalty on the employer who are not compliant.
Can he employ any penalty?
No, sir, he cannot employ penalty directly, sir.
Okay.
Sir, as far as I know, sir.
Which are the schemes under EPFO?
Sir, there are three major schemes under EPF and MP Act, starting from Employee Provident Fund Act 1952, Employee Pension Scheme 1995, and Employee Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme 1976.
Explain deposit linked insurance scheme.
Sir, every subscriber who subscribe for EPF and MP Act is automatically also covered under EDLI scheme of EPFO, sir. Sir, as the name suggests, it is deposit linked insurance, sir. So, first thing is that it is an insurance scheme, but it is a direct benefit insurance scheme, sir. The subscriber need not to pay any premium. So, recently the amount of insurance has been increased to 7 lakhs from 6. And second is deposit linked. So, it is linked to the deposit that PF corporate in his or her account and the number of years he has worked in the service. So it is linked to these two factors, sir. So it is given in the case of death and it ranges from 2.5 to 7 lakhs.
As you belong to Bihar,
Yes.
what are the major sidebacks, major problems are there prevalent in Bihar nowadays in terms of social security?
Yes. Sir, in terms, particular terms of social security, okay, sir. Sir,
According to you.
Sir, in my view, Bihar is one of the most populous, third most populous state of India, sir. And with this, there is old age population is also significant in Bihar, sir. So, sir, one problem which I have also witnessed and I feel is a proper pension for these old age people. And despite there are schemes of central government as well as the state government, but the ground level implementation is a problem. And second thing is awareness among the old age people is not there. And even if the awareness is there, they don't have avenue to get. So we often see in newspaper that a particular old age woman or man they have traveled some 10 kilometer, 15 kilometer for getting their pension. So this connectivity issue is a problem.
Connectivity issue. Any other problem?
Yes, sir. Sir, second problem of social security, sir. Sir, I would say the maternity benefit, sir. Because right now the maternity benefit act it is for organized sector. For unorganized sector also we have Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. But again the problem is of implementation, sir. And there is the particular scheme from Bihar government, sir. It needs modification to reach to the general public, sir.
Tell me some social security schemes in Bihar by Bihar government.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I just recollect my thoughts? Sir, Bihar government have social security for old age widows, sir. This is one I can recollect right now. And
The name?
the name I'm unable to recollect now, right now, sir. And sir, I have to look more into it. I'm unable to recollect the names of the scheme currently, sir.
Any scheme related to minority or scheduled caste?
Minority or scheduled caste in Bihar particular. Sir, when it comes to minority, so there are for females, there's a very famous scheme from Bihar which had a very good result also. That it provided bicycles to the female children. Sir, in
Name
Bihar.
of it?
Sir, name, sir, I'm unable to recollect.
Okay, on national level?
The national level for SC/ST.
Yeah, minority, SC/ST.
Yes, sir. So national level for scheduled caste, the one is scheme which is doing very well and it has recently been launched is a Stand Up India scheme, sir.
I am asking particularly about lower section of the state, means scheduled caste or minority.
So the Stand Up India scheme for especially for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and the women for developing entrepreneurial skills in them, sir. That is one thing. Then, sir, Abhimanyu scheme is there, sir, for the children of scheduled tribes.
Okay.
For this, it is a scholarship scheme. So then, Pradhan Mantri scholarship scheme for SC students are there, sir. Sir, apart from that, sir, sir, I am able to recall.
You know about Nai Roshni?
Yes, sir, Nai Roshni, I know, sir.
What is there in it?
Sir, Nai Roshni is for development of females, sir. Sir, to develop them in entrepreneurial skills in females, sir.
Which female? Any particular type of female or it is generalized?
No, sir, it is for a lower rung of the society, sir.
Minority or SC/ST?
Sir, SC/ST.
Overtime comes under which act?
Payment of wages, sir. Overtime.
Wages. Can you tell me 3 modifications in new labor codes?
Sir, among all 4 labor codes. Okay, sir.
Modifications I am asking.
Okay, sir. Sir, starting from the first one, sir, OSH code, there is this modification that minimum number has been removed for hazardous industry, which used to be there. Now the welfare will be provided to everyone. Second is, sir, the timing restriction which was there for female laborers from like they cannot work after 7 p.m. and before 6 a.m. in the morning. That has been also removed now. And sir, then there is this legal right to get appointment letter, sir, by contract workers, by migrant workers. And the definition of migrant worker has been changed for better, sir, now. That anybody who even works on his own, irrespective of whether he is under a contractor, he will be under the migrant labor. So this is regarding OSH code, sir.
Any modification regarding salary?
So salary, it is there, sir. So now basic wages, there has been changes in the basic wages has to be 50% of.
50% off?
So 50% of previously it used to be like there were many other things like HRA and DA and everything. But now 50% has to be all the CTC, the whole package we can say. If we talk about private sector, 50% should be the basic wages, sir. So take home salary will be affected, sir.
Okay. So how will you implement your experience in this job?
Sir, my experience has been mostly with unorganized sector, sir. So this is one of the major factors, sir, which will help me to understand, despite EPF and MP Act being for organized sector, sir, still I would say it is for the lower rung of the society because employee earning less than 15,000, it is covered in that. So I can actually use my experience here, sir. And this is one thing directly related to my job. Another thing is, sir, my job was mostly a field job, sir. So I have that experience of traveling even at odd times and even at some longer hours, sir. So even enforcement officer being a field job, I can connect both the things and I will not feel overwhelmed. I'll be prepared for it, sir.
If you get selected, what will you do to remove these problems which you told in Bihar right now?
Yes, sir. Sir, if I get selected and if I get this opportunity to serve my state, so sir, when coming to social security, sir, even I feel that in Bihar, people who are eligible to be covered under EPF and MP Act, they are unaware of it. So first and foremost thing as an enforcement officer, my coverage duty I will fulfill, and I'll not leave any stone unturned in sensitizing them about the benefit of this act and why they should be covered. Second thing is, sir, coming to the large unorganized sector, which is not directly catered by this organization, but recently, even I have read this news that 28 crore workers who are registered on in e-Shram portal, they will be made portable with EPFO for future benefits, sir. So this is a very good step, sir. And if at all tomorrow, which is a vision of EPFO to also cater unorganized sector, so I will give my best for catering them because Bihar right now needs it, sir.
Okay. You have written your hobby as public speaking.
Yes, sir.
May I know what is this type? Means public speaking as a hobby. Can you explain? What is it mean?
Yes, sir. Sir, public speaking as a hobby, it means that since my childhood, sir, I was always very keen into participating in this public speaking events. So
Okay.
since I can say primary school, so I have participated in many public speaking events on school level, even on state level. Later, when I came to university, I have represented my university on national level also.
Okay. You know about the incident happened in Udaipur.
Yes, sir.
What are your views about it?
Yes, sir.
And what will you do to prevent events like this?
Sir, in which capacity can I ask? Like, as a citizen of India.
Yeah.
Sir, Udaipur event is I've read about it, sir. It is one of the very unfortunate event which can take place. Sir, my views on this is, sir, whatever be the reason behind a particular incident, but violence is never the solution. And even if people can justify it by some hate speech or anything, I don't think that even hate speech can be the reason to promote violence, sir. So I strongly condemn the incident which happened in Udaipur, sir. Sir, as a in my capacity, how will I try to elevate the situation, sir? Sir, I believe in communication, sir. First thing. So there is this concept called deep canvassing when whatever rudimentary knowledge I have philosophy in the deep canvassing where we talk to a person and in talking we try to understand his point of view, irrespective of whoever the person is. And then we try to get into his mind and then we try to change in ideas. So whoever, if I meet some person who has such ethnocentric views, I will try to change, and I would try to sensitize people that peace is paramount, irrespective of whatever religion you come from or whatever caste.
It is all from me. I have any questions left? Yes, sir. Do you have any questions? So this is all from us, Anushree.
Thank you, sir.